This is Radio Free Jordan, the last stronghold of democracy in the government-controlled South Metro area. Broadcasting at 320.7 megahertz and brought to you by Citizens for Spare Change. Help us, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.
Recently, Mayor Ewalls had suggested that he would like to see a change in the council meeting format. Basically, suggested that the public comment portion of the agenda be for items that are not on the agenda, and that those persons who wish to speak would be limited to a 3 to 4 minute period. He also desired to have the public be given the opportunity to offer feedback during the regular agenda portion of the meeting, and so that the council could not only hear the staff and themselves, but also could hear the public's points of view on the particular issue. But essentially putting together a set of rules in writing that says here's what is considered under public comment, here's what's considered under the other agenda items, this is how it's going to be run, here's the time limits. Whether or not a person will be given the right to say something, it's up to the mayor and the council.
I'd like to make a few points here. The decision to be made whether we have public comment or not should be made by the council, not by the mayor.
Mayor Ewalls had suggested
not by the mayor, not by the mayor. And at the last meeting, we had a county engineer, we had a county planner, we had an assistant planner, we had a township supervisor, we had a developer that's taking a leap of investment into our city, and we were taking public comment while these people were sitting out there. They had other things they could have been doing that night.
I would hate to see developers come and have to sit and wait for their turn to talk.
The council as a whole, including the mayor, can decide if we want to allow comment.
Okay, everybody that comes to these meetings, generally they're Jordan residents, so every decision we make affects them.
No, I was going to say it's going to have a direct effect.
They do. Everything we did here, we're spending money that affects them. That affects
Well, then
their
they need to
taxes.
run for office. We're elected to make the decisions, and when we're not, and we're letting other people come here and try to influence us, most of these, you can't come in on public comment and talk. If you're going to bring something up, it can't be something that's even on the minutes. It's got to be something that's not going to be discussed tonight.
Each one of our topics and decisions that we're going to be talking about, the people up here have done the research, know the history of it, have been involved in the topic, and know intimately.
I can't make comment on that issue. I need to have further research.
Oops.
What I talked about tonight, everybody gets to talk about it before I get a chance to come back again. You know, that's how we respect each other.
Wait a minute, I got one more.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I didn't get to say anything yet.
Oops.
Now, Minnetonka is a fairly well-run city as far as I know, but they have rules and procedures in place for doing that.
And Pete, I think that would, Mr. Mayor, I think that would be legitimate if the majority of us sitting here are willing to do that. But just for one person to decide.
Mayor Ewalls had suggested,
But just for one person to decide. One person to decide. But just for one person to decide, we shouldn't do it. I don't feel that you should be calling on people out there to see if they've got anything to add to our discussion and our voting.
Once you make a motion in a second, and then you vote on it, whatever comments they have are useless, because you just voted on it.
But they're not elected to be up here and make those decisions, and that's where somebody's giving you false information. Because I understand local government, and you as the mayor don't have the authority to do that. It's the decision that gets voted on at this table.
I only have one vote.
You do, and
Right.
Exactly. I feel at fault that when you suggested it the first time, that we allowed it to happen.
When you're trying to accomplish a lot of things, you've only got so much time, and you're trying to get it accomplished. And your decisions will not be that much better because you've allowed to open it up.
Your idea about including comment is great. If anybody in the audience wants to raise their hand and be recognized, approach the podium, ask a question, on or off topic, that's fine. But I think what we're all getting at is if you're gonna stop, invite that, wait for someone to come forward, it's just gonna add, 2, 5, 12, 18 minutes, and it's the precedent that it sets that becomes the problem.
If we have a packed house and we got 25, 30 people standing here demanding to be heard, we're not doing our job. I don't think we want to have a meeting that runs till 3 in the morning, and I don't expect us to have one like that unless we're doing something wrong.
I'm going to make a motion that public comment happen in the beginning of the meeting, and that participants be given 3 minutes to participate. It'll be citizens' comments in the front end of our agenda, and not during the rest of the meeting unless the majority of the council said, yeah, go ahead and allow it.
If I ran a corporation and I let every Tom, Dick, and Harry tell me what I need to do during the meeting, we'd never get anything accomplished.
If we felt there was someone in the public who had to say something in the middle of the discussion that we felt would help the discussion, every time we've said, okay, sure, if it's going to help, sure.
Because they might have something important. If there's something important to say, I want to hear it.
We've actually asked specifically for them to come if there's somebody else.
All right, now I'm having trouble because you're talking in circles. You guys are saying one thing, but you want another.
There is confusion. There is confusion. There is confusion. We will allow public to speak on the agendas. It's just not your decision. It's our decision.
I'm sure they're trying to deter somebody coming up at the last minute, and they're going to influence our voting on an item here at the table. That's why they're not going to allow it.
Maybe it's time for the council to trust the people of Jordan. You can also set an example for the type of conduct you want at meetings by not talking across each other, by not saying the same thing over and over again, and by limiting yourselves to 3 minutes.
I think all of you really owe it to the public to give us some kind of opportunity to share at the moment when the discussion is being held. We aren't idiots. We don't come here because we got nothing else to do. We come here because we're truly interested. And I cannot honestly believe that you feel so threatened by us making a comment. I'm honestly stunned. This is a sad night for Jordan. It's a sad night for America.
Help us, Obi-Wan. You're our only hope.